On the night of September 13th, 1997, downtown Los Angeles was very quiet and a bell truck was crossing the street. The truck was moving money that he had collected from businesses and banks and was transporting the money to the Los Angeles Money Center, where there was a large safe. The facility was staffed by a person named Alan Pace, who was responsible for all of the facility security technologies. Alan Pace was a regular employee employed at the facility. He did a good job and was friends with everyone. But the staff at the facility didn't know they were partners with a burglar genius. He thought of stealing the safe when he was employed at the facility, so he patiently worked on this fun and planned everything. After a few years, Alan realized he needed help, so he went to 5 of his high school friends. He told the story to his friends and asked them for help. Alan had information on all employees and knew when employees were coming to work, what they were doing, and when they were going home. The positive things about Alan's job was that because his job was system security, he could take pictures everywhere, without anyone suspecting him. With the pictures he took, he justified his friends well. With the practical precision he had, Alan had obtained information from all the cameras in the center. That means he knew where the cameras were nobles and where they weren't monitoring. The facility was equipped with the most advanced cameras of 1997, cameras with 360-degree rotation. Alan had the information on these cameras as well. He met his friends every night and continued for 5 months. Alan let all of his friends fully briefed on the building security detail. Alan even taught his friends the building plan. His friends were therefore well informed of the location of the doors, cameras, and guards. He was very patient and told his friends that if we rushed, we would be exposed. Everything was going well until the day of September 12th got out of the way. Alan was shocked on this day. He was kicked out of the money center. The reason for his dismissal was that Alan had opened the front light of his colleague's car and taken it with him, because he wanted to joke with his partner. But his colleague got upset and reported to the company that Alan was a thief and had stolen my car's front light. The company quickly fired Alan too. Alan was very upset because his plans were falling apart. He immediately convened a meeting with his friends and told them the news of his dismissal. He said, if we want to start stealing, we have to do our job by tomorrow because our information is getting old and we could be compromised. It was a good position to start a robbery operation, and Alan knew that. Because the 12th day that Alan was fired was Thursday and the morning they were going to carry out the robbery operation was Friday. There's the most money in the safe on Fridays, because on weekends, more money comes to the center. On the night of 13th, Alan and his friends went to a club to spend time. When it came time for the robbery, they walked out of the club at 11 p.m., dressed in their robes, and got into a car heading armed to the money center. They had rented a big truck. When they approached the center, Alan's friends told him there were cameras here, but Alan told them there was nothing wrong, because the person sitting behind the camera at this hour is a head-to-air person. As we said, Alan had everything ready. He had the key to the back door of the center as well. They easily entered the center. Also, Alan was at ease. He didn't want to be seen. That's why he used camera vacancies. Whichever route Alan took, his friends took the exact same path. It was May 12th, and Alan knew perfectly well that the guards would take a short break at this hour and head to the cafe in the money center for coffee. Alan and his friends are ambushed in the cafe. One by one, they disarmed the guards who were coming to the cafe for a rest and closed their arms and legs and mouths. Alan knew that the key to safe room was in the hands of the guards. They took the key and entered the safe room. Anything to say about this safe is scant. A steel door 18 inches in diameter was located in front of them. The hall was impenetrable and no one could open the door without a key or password. But Alan was genius. He knew that on Fridays at this hour, because there was a lot of money coming in and out, The safe door was open, so Ellen easily got into the safe. Inside the safe box there were shelves that were locked, but the locks on these lockers were easily broken. It was easy for Ellen and his friends because Ellen knew which shelves contained more bills. Ellen would just go to the shelves that had $20 bills or more in them. He didn't touch the $1 bills at all. The most money they had in them was the $20, $50, $100 bills that they all took. The truck they rented was filled with money, $80,900,000, which in today's money would amount to about $30 million. But Ellen didn't just want the money, he also wanted security information. He entered the common room and erased the memory of the cameras by holding a calling hostage who was not doing his job well. Interestingly, he knew where the data backup was. The backups were in a cupboard inside another room. Ellen picked up the backups as well and promptly exited the center. Ellen and his friends managed to set a record for the world's biggest cash heist in their name. No cash has ever been stolen in this volume. Ellen had planned the rest of the process as well. They quickly made their way to their friend's apartment and drained all the money, after which they dressed in normal clothes and went back to the club so that if anyone asked them where you were at the time of the robbery, they could tell they were in the club. They returned home around morning. What do you think they did with that amount of money? You might think they spent a lot the next day, buying a Rolex watch or Lamborghini. But Ellen wouldn't let them to do that, because if they suddenly started spending big, they would be exposed. Ellen gave each of them $100,000 and advised them not to get excited and to spend slowly. The next step was they rented a warehouse and took the money there. The robbery made a noise like a bomb, and because a large sum had been stolen, the FBI took over the case. The FBI initially searched for fingerprints but found no trace, and the employees who were held hostage had no useful information. Because Ellen had done his job professionally, he and his friends wore masks and spoke with a change of voice, and also didn't call each other names. They also captured the memory of all the cameras. The FBI didn't get any indications, but he was asked how did the robber at the backup location know the information. So there must be a member of staff here. The FBI investigated all employees and asked each of them the name of the person they suspected of being. All the staff responded by saying one name, Ellen Pace. They searched everywhere. All they found in the money center parking lot was the taillight glass of a truck, the same truck that Ellen and his friends had rented. The FBI didn't come up with any useful information with this taillight glass either, because in the city of Los Angeles, there were a lot of these trucks. The FBI monitored Ellen to find out about his work. After tracking Ellen down, they discovered that he lives in his mother's house and doesn't even have a bank account. 6 months passed and there was no news. Ellen slowly divided the money between his friends. Excited by this amount of money, Ellen's friends proceeded to purchase land, a house, and an automobile. Ellen found a company so he could launder money. All went well, but one of Ellen's friends bought a patch. He made a huge mistake. He gave the vendor bundles of bank notes with the same gang of rolls they had robbed from the bank. On these bond rolls, there was the handwriting of the bank that sent these monies to the safe. The seller became suspicious. He was asked where did he get that much cash. For this reason, he contacted the bank and informed his own bank of the matter. The seller told the bank that he was concerned the amount of cash was counterfeit and asked the bank for a solution. The bank told him he had to bring the money to the bank to be investigated. When the bank investigated the money, it realized that it was a banderole for a safe and should not be in the hands of an ordinary person. The bank briefed the police. When the B police arrived, the FBI also came in. The FBI learned that the money came from the same safe that had been robbed several years earlier. Ellen's friend named Eugene was arrested. After conducting an extensive investigation, the FBI found that Eugene had rented a truck on the day of the robbery. The exact same truck with its tail light left in the safe enclosure. They found out in their research that Eugene was related to Ellen. They became highly suspicious of Ellen. The FBI raided Ellen's home and found that Ellen was hiding millions of dollars in cash at his home. The police didn't know that these were 5 people. If Eugene hadn't named the others, maybe the FBI wouldn't have been able to find the others. But he told the police everything. Police arrested all 5 of them. As gang leader, Ellen was sentenced to 25 years in prison and the rest of the gang members each to 10 years in prison. But there's a conundrum here. The FBI was only able to locate $7 million of the stolen money and return it to the bank, and the rest of the money was not found. The thieves say we spent the rest and we don't know where it is. Ellen is still in prison as he was sentenced to 25 years in prison in 2001 and still has a few years left on his sentence, but his friends have been released. They're under intense scrutiny, of course, because the FBI is looking for the same $10 million in money it hasn't found yet. Before watching this video, what was the biggest scam you've ever seen? Leave a comment. Thank you so much for being with us until the end of the video. We are proud to have such dear viewers like you.